Welcome to What's Your Skincare Routine with Leora Luciano. I'm your host, Leora. Today we have a very special guest. Her name is Olga Safronova, and you may already be familiar with her, seeing her viral reels on Instagram or even viral videos on TikTok as well. So today she's going to share a little bit of insight into her background, how she got to become the successful creator that she is, and also what tips and tools you can use to get there yourself and level up your content creation. So, with that, Olga, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you having me. I'm so excited to be here, and I would love to share all things I know about social media and video content creation, reels on Instagram, everything you want to know. I just share with pleasure. I'm a former video production studio owner, and I created videos since 2009. It's more than 10 years. I started from scratch. I just bought my first camera and said, "Oh, I want to create a videos." It was in university. I was studying university, and then I bought this camera and start to make commercials, weddings, videos for brands, everything that related to video content creation. And in 2023, I moved to USA and I started my Instagram from scratch in English. It was really complicated for me because my English is not so good. And then I know nothing. I don't know how to communicate, how to speak with people. But then I just realized that it was just my fear. And all things I do all my life, it's just go through this fear. And if I notice something that make me shy or make me uncomfortable, it's like borders my comfort zone. And it's like then you ask me to be a guest on your amazing podcast. I thought, oh my gosh, I don't speak English so good. I ruined everything. But I said, okay, it could be very fun. And so about Instagram. And now it it's been a year and I have about 2,100 followers. It's like my new milestone, and after that I feel that everybody is unique, and I'm too, me too. And if you wanted to make something, to achieve something, just start without expectation, without like emotions, and everything will be perfect. Yeah, and now reels can make you in like another level. Reels attract new followers, and you can be a blogger in just, I don't know, several months. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I wanted to know, you're talking about hitting milestones and you're at about over 200,000 followers on Instagram. And thinking back, starting from zero, you had accounts that you've built up. You have quite the following on TikTok, and you've built one on Instagram as well. And it's one of those things where, you mentioned English is not your first language and maybe a little bit of a barrier, but I believe that many people are truly storytellers. And it is irregardless of language. So, language does not get in the way of storytelling, and it's universal. It's really something that we just all understand as humans. So, I feel that's something that you do with your work. And I feel you're very conscientious of trends. That's part of the strategy, right? So, I think that's very important. But also, I feel like you are true to yourself and that you kind of break out of that mold. Sometimes it's not always about what is trending at the moment, but what works for you and what resonates with your audience. It's one of those things knowing about your background. Yes, you're a content creator, but you've also run your own production company. So it makes so much sense. Was there a particular moment that you knew that you needed to pursue this path? With all of your experience, was there a moment where you wanted to move forward as an entrepreneur in this space?
Oh yeah, it's like my goosebumps. It was in Russia actually. I remember that TikTok appeared in the social media space, and at that moment, I was thinking that I just go through my fingers the Instagram grow, and the more we delay, we harder will be our grow. And then TikTok appeared. I was thinking, yeah, it's my chance, it's my opportunity. And I didn't mention, but yeah, I have over 1 million on my TikTok channels. I have two TikTok channels, and in summary, I have 1 million. I said that I can be a blogger. I can be this person who followed, who can lead people, who can share them knowledges, who can, I don't know, share something that probably another people will value, that would be interest in my work, inspiration. They can get inspiration of my content, they can get knowledge how to edit, how to film, all these things. But in Russia, I also realized that blogger it's not only about things like how to edit or how to film, but also who you are. So who you are inside, and the main thing, and this probably most difficult thing, is to open to people and share with them the things you value, something about your family, something that you just looking for, and who you want to be. Because now I understand that I want to be a multi-million blogger on Instagram, and before I did not even think about it. So I can give me my own permission to be this type of blogger. And now I see a lot of accounts that have 1 million or more followers, and it's totally fine, and I'm sure that I will do it finally. And the thing is like permission to uh, be so brave to confess to yourself that yes, I want to be popular. Yeah, I want to be that girl that I just scrolling through her feed, and they have a lot of likes, 100,000 likes, and a million views. I wanted to be that girl. Why not? And I can, and I can. Everybody can actually, if you have it in mind, if you want it.
I love this advice, and I absolutely agree. I always talk about goal setting, especially on the podcast. It's all about mindset and being clear on what you hope to achieve. So I think that's such an excellent message. And you mentioned milestones of followers, audience engagement, all of that. But are there other milestones or achievements that you're most proud of?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Probably one of my milestone that I'm proud of, it's not an Instagram, it's about my green card that I got. And when I came here in America, people said me that, oh, America, it's a country of lawyers and accountants, and if you wanted to apply to this green card or O1 visa, it's like extraordinary talent visa, you need to hire a lawyer and do that. But I decided to not to do so, and I do everything by myself. 1,000 pages was my case, and I did it just by myself. I send it to the UCIS, it's Immigration Services, and I got approved with this case. So the thing is that I know that it's my path. It's a path that I go through, and became a person who can get this green card. So I was changing. So when you change, you will get. It's like it's strange that you don't have these things. It could be 1 million follower. It could be a green card, or uh, you name it. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I love this because as somebody who started my content creation journey a long time ago, I started out as a writer, and that was really before social media was a thing. And once it kind of started moving in that direction, a lot of people were dismissive. They rolled their eyes. They were like, that's not a real career. That's not a job. And I feel like, it's really changed the landscape of what we think of when we think of careers now. So even when you talk about your visa, I hear that you are someone coming to the US with an extraordinary talent and background. And it really, to me, validates this as a career path as well. I mean, you have extraordinary talent in filmmaking, and you have this background, and you brought that to your content creation journey as well. And it's a professional background. You have the training. So, as somebody sometimes who's maybe scrolling on their phone and doesn't understand about content creation, and they don't necessarily see the value or the work that goes into it to get to the final product. For me, I think it's always interesting to have a conversation around these things, especially with other creatives, to say, hey, what we do is really valuable. And it is so important. I mean, it's a huge piece of marketing now. You think of all the content creators that are creating UGC, or user generated content, on behalf of brands, so that brands can turn those into social advertisements or use them within the structure of their marketing objectives. So this is, you know, you think of kind of like the older times, where it was like all about selling ads, where it was all about making ads that would run on TV. And there were these big, huge Super Bowl ads that, millions would be spent. And then from there would be, print ads, billboards, all of that good stuff. The focus is really shifted now. So, that being said, I have one question, but I want to split it into two parts if that makes sense. Basically, what is one piece of advice that you have for somebody who is just starting out, and maybe they're an aspiring content creator, right? Maybe they have 0 followers, maybe they have 10, maybe they have a few thousand, and they just want to start. I know that's a very broad question, but if there are a few things that maybe you can share. And then the other part is, what advice do you have maybe for brands who are looking to grow their brand awareness or convert their followers and just build their own social accounts as well? Maybe that's the same answer, maybe it's different, but please take it away.
Okay, yes, it's a really huge question, complicated, and actually, to give the advice, I need to understand what is the creator's goal. If you wanted to be like a celebrity or famous person, or you wanted to be like me, I don't know, like expert in the narrow niche, and you wanted to share your advices, and it would be like different strategies to achieve your goal, because the goals is different. you know so if I started from scratch, so I started from scratch actually, in different language. So I determined who I am and what I wanted to achieve, and I put it in my Instagram, in my bio, and just started creating reels, analyze what go better, started to recreate it then, and I spent a lot of time on Instagram scrolling the feed and understand what's in trend now, which ideas went viral already, and many piece of my content based on the international trends. So I just take them, recreate, and show how they can be done with editing, with filming, this viral visual hooks. Now it's pretty trendy, simply catchy in first 3 seconds on our videos, like something blown our minds. So stop scrolling, and I have my huge experience in video production, and then I started. I have, I don't know, 1,000 views only, and that's okay. Yes, I I know that this video could generate more than million, but I have only my 1,000 views. That's normal, without expectation, without frustrating, just forming a habit, shaping a habit to create little steps, create, post, because the posting publishing process for me it's complicated too, actually. I need to admit it. And it's not about like oh, you can film, you can edit, and then you need to post it. Hashtag, some captions, headline, you name it. Then I started, I just do that things I mentioned, like automatically trying to avoid my emotional state. Then you see your numbers, and some voice in your head said, oh, probably it's waste time. You don't achieve anything, you just waste a lot of time for nothing. So in that case, of course, my already success TikTok channel helped me that time, because I have already had that experience that you have nothing, 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 and then blah, bow, and you have everything. And actually, I have my first, I don't know, 4 million views reels. It was like, I don't know, like craziest reel. It's not about my topic. It was about animation. I don't know why, but I said, okay, I'm good. I'm happy. And it's generated me about 20,000 followers in 2 weeks. Yes, it was 4 million views reel, and I started just replicate this same reel. And actually, the advice for content creators, noticed, I scroll in the feed, and some accounts just do the similar content. For example, you can see two pictures, it's the creator and what will be at the end. So that's frame and the same video from reel to reel. And more similar content you make, the more followers you engage, the more rememberable you becoming. So people remember you because of that picture, that precise picture. And it's not my thing, because my content really different. So very crazy. But this is a piece of advice for all new creators. So try to make the similar pieces of content, so that followers can remember you scrolling through feed. And our brain works like two puzzles, the similar puzzles, and our brain analyze, and wow, oh, I realized that I have seen that before. It's pretty interesting content. I have to follow. I have to follow that creator. Probably not from the first reel, but from the second in their feed. Another advice: don't give up. Truly believe in you, and if you see lower numbers, try to change strategies. try to change content. Don't do similar things, because if you change just frames, you can get 1 million or you can get 10,000. And I went through it so many times. I see it on my TikTok and on Instagram as well. It's, I don't know how it works, but if you change like similar pieces, and the same video will become like very different in views and in engage or something like that. So my advice is for new content creators: be prepared to working hard. I'm really working hard. It's not like pleasure walking, but I truly believe in Instagram, and all my clients here in US from Instagram, because I don't know the possibilities how to get clients not from Instagram.
Well, speaking of your clients, I know you work with content creators or aspiring content creators to help them create viral content. Yeah, what advice do you have for them? Because it's one thing if you're a content creator and a personality, but sometimes you're just a product or service. How are you using your storytelling capabilities? How would you guide them through their content creation process on social media?
Pretty sure understand that social media is now, I don't know, big piece of the marketing campaigns, and I appreciate like content creators hard work. I could say that, but actually, for brands, for example, if brand came to me and said, "Oh, we would like to make this campaign, its campaign direct to our feature or our product." So I just starting with the same thing as I create my content. So with 3 seconds, with visual hook, and I try to put in the campaign a lot of these visual things and visual hooks to communicate with creators too, because a lot of creators would love to know how to achieve these effects to work for their campaigns with brands. And I can also make a tutorial about these effects, and also with short videos, when they pop up in the feed, for example in advertisement, they just attract audience. And the best thing is I can share all my I don't know inspiration in these brand campaigns, because sometimes for my content I have an idea, but it's sometimes hard to implement and make it in life. But if you paid for it, and I was thinking, oh, okay, I will go to the groceries, or something, I need to buy that, I need to buy this, and I'm just trying to create something like stand out, something unique for brands. And for creators, I tried to send emails to brands when I had probably 50 years or more, but it doesn't work for me. I don't know. I can't send a lot of emails, and this very like frustrating, boring, and I just stopped. For me, it's better to create content, and for my page, for fun, and then sending these emails that with response, "Oh, that's great, thank you, but probably in the future." So the better way to create content and attract brands, so the brands came come to me, that's with their interest. For me it works like that. So I did not do something intentionally, because I that kind of person, I can't. I just can't.
I mean, and it seems like the way you've set up your account is that you get a lot of inbound requests, whether it is from people who want to work with you to help them grow their accounts, or maybe brands that want to partner with you to promote their brand. I think that is incredible, and it is best if it works out so you never have to send another email again and all of your requests are inbound.
I tried, but it didn't work, and it's a bit frustrating. But I know that many creators do that, and probably that's a way for you or our creators, and it could help. But for me, it's just not my thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's one thing I will say about being in the space, especially in social media, there's no one size fits all. There's no one way to do everything. So I love talking with other creators to see how they do things and share insights that I have as well. And I think it's just so important to kind of understand how we can all kind of grow together, especially, with the way social media has become so prevalent. And I think there is power in other creators talking amongst ourselves, right? So I appreciate the transparency. And I wanted to go back to one thing that you were saying. What I'm hearing from you is you're speaking very much about consistency. And I think something that is a little bit of a hurdle to overcome is how you maintain consistency, but consistency maybe when your views are down, or maybe if you have a viral video and you get millions of views, how do you replicate that? You have pressure on yourself to be able to replicate that. So how do you manage that but also stay consistent?
Like I mentioned, I try to relate it like work. So I come to work, I need to do something, so switch off the emotion. Because when I started my TikTok and I see like 2000 views on my video, I was blowing, and every time just scrolling and updating my feed. Oh, 21, oh, 22. And it's like, you have energy, then you wake up, you have energy, and you choose where you share with this energy. And the emotional factor is a big factor, that you can just lose this energy. So it's like arrogant, it's very pleasant emotions as well too. So it's probably hard to understand, but I noticed that if I happy with something, very happy, like craziest, the another day, the next day, I feel like bummed down, my energy down. So it's like the swings. I try to avoid this thing and be consistent. So I know that I need to post minimum one time per day. Now I make my line higher, and I try to make minimum two posts per day. And usually then I have this energy, I can do more. Okay, I can do 5 times a day or even better, and that helped me grow. But if you're just starting, it could seem crazy that I talk about, girl, you're crazy. You post 5 times a day and you grow. You said about grow. What's the thing? The thing is, that strategy works for me. And if you start, just try to post probably, I don't know, 2 3 times per week. This will be like new habit, like brushing your teeth. So you wake up brushing your teeth every day and every evening. So that's normal, 2 times per day. The same you need to shape this new habit with posting consistency and creation. And 1 year I make my content and post it right away, but probably since May or April this year, 2024, I start to create about 20 or 30 per my content creation day. And that's really save a lot of energy, a lot of resources. So at June 4, I created about 30 videos, and then I posted it through whole summer. So I just forgot about content creation, and I also post my old videos always. And sometimes I reposted the same videos, but in 2 weeks, in a month, just the same videos. And don't even change little things, like many said that, oh, you can just mirror in or something like that, just little things. I don't do that, but this thing I can say that it's my habit now, and everybody has have your own level. So probably for you it could be a 1 time per week, 2 time per week, and then you can just grow in and try to post more. The thing is, posting is 1 time per day, that's good. I think that's really high number in a month. And then I spoke to the meta expert. He said that 5 time per week by reels, and the hour times as carousels. And I don't do carousels. I don't know why, but carousels works like reels. But I just love what I do, and I love the videos. And the main thing, you need to love what you do, because if you try to be consistent in not like plan, you can just, I don't know, destroy yourself. So the first thing is to make an agreement in your head that, oh, okay, yeah, um, I have my personal coach, it's my husband. And when he said first, like, post 3 times per day, I just blamed him. I was very frustrated. I said, what did you say? How dare you? I tried the maximum I can. But it's been 3 months already, and now I realized that's already okay with me. That's normal.
That is really inspiring advice. And I've heard this advice before, especially when it comes to TikTok. It's more about volume and just posting quality content, but as much as possible, it's a frequency thing. Now, when it comes to Instagram, it's maybe not as much, but daily or 5 times a week, something like that. And that is when the goal is growth, of course, because the more content you put out, the likelier of a chance you're going to, be seen by more people. So in terms of quality content though that you put out with more regularity, you have the chance, I think you really improve your chances to go viral, if that's what I'm hearing. So that's a really great tip. And now I want to ask you, what are some of the elements for making a video captivating, engaging? You're just talking about speaking, right? So is this just a voiceover, looking to camera, making eye contact? Or, is it something where, you're doing a podcast, whether it's a real one, like this one, or you're pretending to do one and you just have a mic, or maybe you have one of those tiny little microphones? So, what are some ideas that you have?
When I started, I post 1 time per day, and I post 1 time per day before the year, probably 1 year. And I just recently started 3 times per day. I would be honest, I don't that terminate. It's like my experience and my skills go with my experience through this Instagram and social media. And for example, on Instagram, I can post like 10-second videos, but on TikTok, probably the a longer video work better. And I try to stick this short videos together and post it on TikTok 1 time per day. And that's pretty good. And also, I started to create talking videos because it attracts deeper connection. But for example, if you start from scratch, I suggest to create short videos like 10 seconds videos or 15 seconds, and then like I do now, to grow in your audience through like conversational content and story of yourself, of your family, and all the things. And I have short tips for your audience how to make video more captivating. It's all about dynamic, and probably you noticed that I use on my videos like acceleration and then slowing down, called speed ramp. So I can advise the cap, it's free, and this app has all things inside that's enough for even for me actually. And there is the speed curve tool inside the app, and you can use this for acceleration and slow down your videos. So as a thing that I mentioned, it's a visual hook, then the dynamic with speed curve or a reverse effect, then you reverse something, and that makes magic. Like I threw the leaf, autumn leaf, on the ground, and in reversion the leaf from the ground appears in my head. So that's a pretty simple ideas, as well as with idea with sneakers, when you just threw the sneakers on the floor and then they just fly into your hand. And that's a pretty good idea for shoe brands, I mean. So this reverse and speed curves effects, that's really simple, but you can implement in your content very, very easy. And the thing is the color correction, because a lot of people ask why your videos look so bright, colorful, like all the things. So make sure you make the color correction. You can do that on CapCut, and actually I just use some filter I like. I try to make video more natural, so I based on the skin. So the first is skin tone, and then our colors. I also use the sharp tool. It's in color corrections, so I increase sharpness, sometimes contrast, and I make shadows more lighter, so not very dark, and the highlights lower. That's probably my simplest color correction, but my videos looks nice. And of course the thing is that you need to film in a good light, and if you start, you can start to film outside, because in if you film inside, you need to film just right on with your window, or use video lights, I mean additional light sources. And then you have, if you have one, just go to the street and create what you want. A lot of ideas, it depends. For example, for you it will be interesting. For me, if you share your experience with a routine, probably your morning skincare routine, your evening skincare routine, just I don't know, several pieces of frames, clips, and that would be nice to see in reels and your life. It's just I came up it because you created this podcast, and I understood that you like skincare and all things related to this topic. And I was thinking, and that's interesting to see what brands you use, those creams, masks.
What your skincare routine is. Can you share maybe some things that you've been liking, or if there is a daily routine that you have, any must haves or things that you don't do, maybe? Do you use a cleanser? Do you use a toner? Do you use a moisturizer? You can talk about general product categories. You don't have to name the specific brands. That's okay.
I would be pretty honest in this podcast, and like I have a cream, I have a mask, so basic things. For me, I see changes in my face are related to my inner state. So if I have no like frustrating, if I don't blame myself for something, I don't know, if I'm good inside, so I feel pretty happy, and my face glowing like you said. Then and your inner state like reflecting on your skin, on your face. I use a moisturizer. I don't remember the brand. I use a mask, and when I was living in Moscow, I have a lot of like liquid things, and I do my face massage, all the things. I love it, but the moving, it's like so hard process. So all my habits like go away, and I'm stand with basic, but probably it will return soon, because my last year was so crazy. And yeah, the cream, the happy inside. So that's probably my advice. So be just try to work with that work against you, because we our main enemy. We are inside, I mean, so we can ruin all things. And it's not a responsibility of our people or obstacles, it's just a responsibility in ourselves. So I just try to make that responsibility on me. And I was thinking in that way, and why I was thinking about that. So that would be great if you share with us your routine. And I think it's really cool tips and advice, and I would love to hear really.
I'm always happy to share because I'm always trying something new. So, one thing that I am consistent about in having in my routine is a calming or soothing or recovery set of skincare products. So, maybe I'm trying something with a lot of active ingredients that's new in my routine and my skin just reacts to it. I want to have sort of a backup system, a cleanser, possibly toner, a hydrator, a moisturizer that is going to keep my skin calm, but also, maybe it's full of ceramides, things that help to repair and restore your skin, especially if you've tried something new and maybe it didn't agree with your skin. But also at the same time, because I am oily prone, I don't want it to clog my pores or cause breakouts. So it's sort of making sure I have certain things at the ready because I do experiment with so many products and I really love that. But, you have to keep it within reason. You can't just change up your skincare routine every week. Otherwise, your skin doesn't adapt to it and, you won't see the fruits of your labor or the benefits of that skincare for a little bit of time. But also, there are certain things that can be irritants to your skin. Skincare is so personal. So you kind of don't know how your skin is going to react. Usually you have a good guesstimate of how it will, but it's not always certain. I feel like for me, one of the biggest things was really about acne, and that also is tied to confidence as well. So I think when I think of that, I think of like, you know, the invention. I don't know when they were invented. I don't know when we discovered this, but pimple patches, right? So those patches that you can, put over bumps and it will just either suck out all the, juicy grossness in a pimple or just kind of help it calm down. Or in my case, sometimes it's something that you cannot extract and it just keeps your hands away from it. So I really think that's if you are acne prone, it's so important to have those in your routine. And for me also, I think it was acne that really drew me into the world of skincare because, you want to treat your skin and there's so many things that you can do to kind of test, but you can also irritate your skin more and you want to avoid that. So I think that's what really intrigued me because I was so into makeup and I love makeup. I still do. But it's not as important to me. I think I really was doing a lot of makeup and covering acne, and, sometimes depending on how bad it is, it feels like you're just painting over a rock and it's still visible. And, the best thing to do is really to treat it. So, I feel like that's all tied together. But going back to skincare, it's one of those things, it's not about never needing makeup. No one needs makeup, right? But it's about feeling more confident. And for me, it's always a conversation. I equate skincare to confidence in a lot of different ways because that's, I think, for me, the connection in my mind. And I think it's always going to be important to me. So I'm going to play with it. I'm going to be using a cleanser, even if I'm tired. If I travel, sometimes you've got to wash your face and just take off the day, even if it's a makeup wipe, but I don't usually recommend those. However, you've really just got to make sure you're taking care of your skin every day. At least for me, it's very important. Some people have minimal to no skincare routines. I find that just as fascinating as somebody with a 10 step or maybe even more steps in their routine. I'm just, nosy about it and fascinated by it at the same time. And I think for me, when it comes to my skin, it's kind of a daily check in. It's a way to assess myself, what's going on, a little bit internally, but also seeing what's happening on my skin. It depends on the time of year, where I am in my cycle, hormonally, what my skin is doing, what my skin is telling me. Like you said, the mental is really important too. So, it all takes a toll on you. And, I kind of try to assess these things and treat accordingly. So once my skin is cleansed, how does it feel? Like, how does my skin actually feel? Does it feel tight? Does it feel dry? Does it feel, a little bit oily? Do I need to go in to sort of balance that out first? Or is it, do I need to hydrate? But then, of course, how much hydration? Because if you're acne prone, you do not want to clog your pores and get breakouts and all of that good stuff. So that's sort of my approach to it. But also, thinking back to when I first started dealing with acne, it was all about making sure that I was treating acne. And I was so hyper focused just on, whether it was cystic acne or hormonal or just like really clogged pores, whatever it was, I was hyper focused on treating that spot. Right. And then it's like, you still have the rest of your face, the rest of your skin. Right. So you want to make sure you're treating everything. So that's why I kind of backed up and said, yeah, I'm treating my acne. But you have to remember, it's much like life. There's always a problem, but you have to deal with everything else, still live your life. And there are going to be other things that come up, other bumps in the road, other bumps on your skin. So you have to be prepared. And incorporating more products, for example, into your skincare routine is not always the answer, or taking them out. It's about the right combination that works for you. So, that's actually my short answer. It's all about kind of finding the right balance for you.
That's great, and thank you for sharing. That's amazing answer. So interesting to hear. And you mentioned the confidence and how your skin look like. It's very like connecting things. And this thing came up me with one thought. It was when I started my TikTok, and sometimes I need to film or post something. Like I said, I did not do like content creation day before, and I create and post, and this was my wheel, like squirrel wheel. And I remember that things that I don't wanted to apply makeup because of one video or one, like I don't know 5 seconds or like I don't know 10 minutes, and I decided that time if I choose how I look in the frame, I will not became a blogger, so I realized that I need to choose. It's only for myself. So in this case, it's more difficult for me to apply makeup, to prepare all the things, and then film for one video, for example. And in the other hand, I don't do the video And so I don't do nothing, so I will not post, and the video will not appear, will not come up. So I have plenty of videos even without my makeup now, and I just, like, I don't know, I gave myself permission, and I don't look very pretty on all my videos, and probably that's okay. So I just accept it, and for me it's like I overcome this. So I didn't feel unconfident anymore without makeup or some things. But skincare routine, it's really important, and to glowing through the camera. But the thing is, you need to, I don't know, love the camera first, because then I started my blog. I was thinking, oh, how I look through the camera, and now I didn't even think, I forgot. Oh, really? People do think about that? Yes, and I know that a lot of people think about it, and not for all people my advice will be good, because I know a lot of girls and boys even, that if they don't apply something, they can appear in front of camera. But for me, I like, I don't know, I just go to work and say, hey, yeah, here I am with my wrinkles or these things I have. I'm probably not perfect, but I love myself.
I love the advice. And I agree. I remember when earlier on I started more old school blogging, and it was just a photo within your blog post. And I was so focused on, oh my gosh, does my makeup look good? Is this like, do I have enough makeup on? And I just remember how important the makeup was for the whole outfit, for the whole look. Now there's just so many videos where I have no makeup on or maybe minimal makeup. And maybe I'm getting a facial treatment and literally have no makeup on, maybe even have like a gel on my face that's, for the treatment. But I'm literally showing you, yeah, I have this dark mark that I'm here to get treated. Or I have a really bad, cystic pimple that I'm getting injected. So these are sometimes the type so sometimes this is the type of content that I share. So part of that is yes, I am trying to reverse this, issue that I have. And at the same time I want to share those experiences to show what is available, and it's really about, like you said, you've just got to frame yourself, make sure you get the shots, make sure you're producing, really good content, as visually compelling as you can, also solid editing. But at the same time, if you are providing value, that's what makes it valuable, right? Especially if you're educating. If you're entertaining, sure, maybe it's a little bit different, but it doesn't matter how much makeup you have on or don't have on, at the end of it. So you kind of have to get out of your own way with that. And I think that's so important to have that confidence in content creation so you can just kind of go forward with it. And especially like what you were talking about, where you're starting over with accounts and thinking about how many times do I need to post? And then you're producing content, and on your shoot days, just being able to generate as much content as you can and being more effective with it is all that matters. I think that's so inspiring to hear for so many people. And it's also very revealing to speak to the amount of effort that's required to do this job. You're using your entire day generating content that will set you up, though, for maybe a few months to come, depending on the frequency of posting. And I think your journey is just so interesting and inspiring. And I think there's so much to take away from what you've shared with us so far. But I could talk to you for hours, but I wanted to see if there was anything else that you wanted to share.
Probably my words, like, for content creators, would be just no fear, go straight to your goals. You have only one life, one your own life. Thinking about university, you're so little piece in this university. Don't care. So just do what you do and you will get that you want. You wanna, I don't know, 1 million, 2 million, 10 million followers, you'll get it. Just go through your fears, go through, I don't know, I forgot this word, like unconfidence, so something like that. So just be sure working on it, working on changing yourself, and be the person who already get all these things you wanna to get now.
That's all for today's episode of What's Your Skincare Routine with Leora Luciano. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and don't forget to follow us on social media where you can get more content and resources. Thank you for being a part of this journey. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next episode. Until next time, this is Leora signing off.